The Phantom Menace, I can actually watch it and enjoy it. Aspects of it. Attack of the Clones, though. Oh no, I'm getting sick just thinking about it. Oh, I'm coughing up a lung here. Oh. Oh my god. My eyes are watering. Jesus Christ. Hey guys, my name is Brandon, aka the BrandoCritic, and today I'm going to tell you if Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, oh my god, is worth a watch. Spoiler alert, it isn't, but let's talk about it anyway. Are my eyes still watering? Oh geez, this review's going off the rails. But you know what, this movie sucks, so let's, it doesn't matter. Okay, let me backtrack that. This movie doesn't suck. It's still watchable only because I am a huge Star Wars nerd. If I didn't care about Star Wars, I would hate this movie. I can enjoy this movie. It's a weird relationship I have with it, let's just say that. Let's just leave it there. So enough of my rambling and let's just talk about the story. So in Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, played by Ewan McGregor, and Anakin Skywalker, played by Hayden Christensen, and they're both Jedi Knights tasked with protecting Senator Amidala, played by Natalie Portman, after there's an assassination attempt on her life. The suspect of the attack is Count Dooku, played by Christopher Lee, a former Jedi Knight turned to the dark side. The possible reason for the assassination attempt? To stop Senator Amidala from voting on the Military Creation Act for the Republic, while Count Dooku and a group of separatists plan on leaving the Republic and forming a new army of battle droids. After another failed assassination attempt, Obi-Wan sets off to investigate the attack, while Anakin and Padme return to Naboo to hide from any further attacks. However, another danger is around the corner when feelings start to form between Anakin and Padme. What part of that sounds like Star Wars? And that's my main problem with the movie, and I haven't written down any other notes other than the story. There's just one main problem. There's only one main problem. And think about when you watch Star Wars as a kid. I'm talking to the Star Wars fans out there. I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, you're a Star Wars fan. And, you know, when you're watching it as a kid, think about how you felt when watching Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia and Han Solo and Chewbacca and C-3PO and R2-D2, characters that you know and like, going on this grand adventure to stop the evil Darth Vader and the Empire with its grand army of stormtroopers. It's simple, it's easy to follow, and it makes you feel. It hits you right here in the feels, and it's simple, good versus evil. And my biggest problem with Attack of the Clones and the prequels in general, but generally Attack of the Clones, is that it's almost impossible to feel any kind of emotion. You know, these are the emotions that we're supposed to feel. You know, we're supposed to feel tension and suspense. We're supposed to feel, you know, the sense of adventure and excitement. We're supposed to feel heartache and sorrow and loss, romance. You know, every other emotion that you should feel in a sci-fi fantasy movie, you don't feel here because the fundamentals are broken. Like I say in a lot of my reviews, it's mostly just three things: character, story, and emotional impact. So let's start with character. Hayden Christensen, you know what? It's not his fault. Really, I don't think it's his fault. He's not the best actor in the world, but it's not entirely his fault. The direction and the writing mixed together with his subpar acting skills, it just doesn't mesh, and it doesn't make for a compelling character to lead a Star Wars franchise and to become Darth Vader. You know, I don't look at Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker and see this guy becoming Darth Vader. I see a whiny brat and a guy who makes Natalie Portman's Senator Amidala or Padme fall in love with him because the script tells us that they are in love. And we'll get to the romance in a bit. And little side note, people say that that's my celebrity lookalike, Hayden Christensen. And as much as I don't like to admit it, I kind of see it. So we have a bland character as our lead, and then we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, who, yeah, he's fun to watch because he feels like he actually fits in a Star Wars movie. You know, when he's like fighting with Jango Fett and he's just like, oh, not good. You know, that feels more Star Wars. You know, it feels like he could go on an adventure. And that's another thing too. This movie isn't, you know, like, oh, I don't remember what scene it was. I think it was, they were on Geonosis, and I was watching it with my two cousins, and I just flat out yelled, "Where's the adventure? You know, where's the scoundrel with his, like, rusty old ship that could barely make it? Or where's, you know, that hero that, you know, came from nothing and now he's like this great hero now?" where's the hero's journey? I don't know, it just doesn't, this movie doesn't feel like Star Wars. And I have no problem with them going with a story about Senator Palpatine, you know, trying to manipulate the government to try to create a clone army. But just get the basics clear. You know, I don't know who the villain is in this movie. You know, Obi-Wan Kenobi meets Count Dooku and they're talking about whatever the hell they're talking about. It's hard to stay awake. But I'm thinking, who's Count Dooku? You know, it's just a name that we've heard throughout the entire movie. And again, there's no tension, there's no stakes, because we don't even know what the stakes are. You know, and we have action scenes like, you know, the asteroid battle is a good example, the Coruscant, speeder chase, and the final battle at the end. You know, there's these grand, epic spectacle action sequences. You know, you have the great, grand clone army, and then the great, grand battle droid army, and it's finally this all-out war, and the most action we've probably seen in any Star Wars movie, and it has just no weight to it because we don't know what the hell's going on, and we don't care enough about the characters or the story to even care about what's happening on screen, and it ultimately becomes boring even though it looks nice. But a movie should be more than just a couple cool parts and some nice visuals. They lack all personality, and it's hard for me to get invested, and it was hard for a lot of people to get invested. And I should talk about the romance too. You know, like, oh man, when Padme says, "I truly, deeply love you," we all said at the same time, why? You have absolutely no reason to. It's hard to watch. And now I don't like to talk about how this is how we could have made the movie better, and you know, if you go with this storyline, it's gonna be totally better, that's gonna fix the movie, because then you're just, you know, telling the filmmakers how to make their movie and telling them what plot points would work instead. And I don't really like to do that. But in this case, I'll make an exception. But in my honest opinion, I think this movie would have worked so much better if, you know, it was Senator Palpatine and Count Dooku as the main villains, which they are, but we don't see them and we don't really know anything about them. They're just kind of talked about, kind of just in the background. You know, have them as the main villains, right? Show them talking and show them, you know, discussing their plans and, okay, I'm gonna start this coup to create this battle army, and, you know, make it simple, and then have Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme trying to figure out who was behind the attempt of the attack. And that is what they do, but have them all together in kind of a trio. Sound familiar? Luke, Han, Leia? Have them as a, you know, a character dynamic, and you know, you can still have Anakin and Obi-Wan doing that father-son mentality, and then Anakin and Padme falling in love. You know, you can still have that mentality going along the story, and I'm sure you can fit in Anakin's mom's death in there as well. And again, this is where it gets tough, because you don't want to go like, oh, you should have done this. This is how to write your script properly. I'm just saying that I wish I felt something more. You know, I wish I was able to invest in this story. I was able to, you know, like these characters and just feel something. But in the end, this is just a very, very bland movie. And the only reason why I am able to watch it, and I don't want to watch it again for a very, very long time, is because I am a huge Star Wars nerd. So with that being said, I'm going to give Star Wars Episode 2 a 1 out of 5. In the Star Wars franchise, this is by far the weakest link. And thankfully, Revenge of the Sith is more watchable than this, but man, this one is a hard one to get through. So anyways, guys, tell me down in the comment section down below, what is your favorite Star Wars prequel? I gotta go with Revenge of the Sith, even though I do have a personal attachment to Phantom Menace, because for some reason as a kid, I just kind of liked the worlds in that movie. But again, they're all hard movies to get through, let's be honest. But also I want to name one prediction for episode 9. I love hearing people's predictions for this kind of stuff, and I'm excited to see episode 9. I want to see what J.J. Abrams will do. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and may the Force be with you.